I don't have a favorite place to play. They liked me there. In 1989, we did a tremendous tour. We went to from Hanover, Germany, to that's when I was performing with musicians. Mm-hmm. We went to Prague, played in front of 9,000 people in Prague at the first music festival there, and from there we went up into Berlin, did a gig in Berlin, and then we went to Lithuania. And then on July 4th, 1989, we played in front of 3,000 people in Moscow. And they liked us, you know. And when there's a booker in Berlin who I was coming to Germany, and he knew I was coming. He wanted me to do some concerts in Poland. And he asked me to play, and I went to Sphinx Club, which is a very famous, crazy place. They don't operate every week. Mm-hmm. They operate when they have an event. So I was an event there, and I did that concert, and then the next day was Nowiec, Poland, a festival.
Okay, I'd like to ask you, Copernicus.
So that video was actually taken from the first gig in this club. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I'd like to ask you a general question, if I might, at this point, and it's a hypothetical. If by some quirk of fate, Copernicus will be remembered 100 years from now or later, what kinds of insights can you give the future of who you are today, of what makes you tick, of what motivated you to be what you are?
You respect yourself. That's very important. You respect yourself and you follow that, and you have to do that. If you don't respect yourself, then again, if you sell out, or if you're weak and you let society take you over, and you live the life that society wants from you, you're creating your own hell. Mm-hmm. So, one second. I'm very much, as a young man, I was very religious. Catholic, Roman Catholic, and who knows why, whatever forces made me start thinking for myself, but I spent many years believing that I had to find something to say, that I had to have something of my own, something that I found by myself, not something that someone told me, okay, something that I believed was mine. And when I felt I found that, I'm being what I am. I'm out there doing it, and I really think I'm really expressing my ideas. When I was coming back from Europe in 1961, I said I wanted to be an artist, and I said, what is an artist? An artist is someone who has a vision and uses some mode to express that vision and share it with people. Okay? It could be a painter, it could be a writer, it could be a musician, or whatever way you do it. You could be an interviewer or anything. You could be a garbage man and still be a great artist if you are lifting those cans and throwing them in, and that way you are somehow expressing, I'm not making fun here, you're somehow expressing your vision. You can actually do it that way. So as long as you're being true to what you are. Mm-hmm. Okay, and this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing now, and this is what I've done all my life. Is trying to be as true as possible. It's very exciting to live that, because you see yourself growing. And when you see yourself growing, it's so exciting. It's just, you know, you're not the same old jerk, you know? You're moving on. And especially in my case, where I am sharing my soul on records with the world, I have documentation of what I was a couple years ago. In fact, I was looking at an interview that I did with you, 1991, and you know, that interview, I'm ahead of that interview. I've passed that interview in just 2 years. I am something else. I've moved on from that interview. I have writing. I could show it to you in a book. When I was 17 years old, and I was leaning at the bed, and I was writing, and I was talking to Jesus, and I was telling Jesus that I started to have doubts about him. I can show you that in writing. So That's again the importance of documenting yourself. Now, but I have this wonderful opportunity of documenting what I think in public. You know, that puts an extra pressure on me to grow, because there's an audience out there expecting, gee, what's next? And it's an extra pressure, an extra thing that if I didn't have that, maybe I would get lazy, okay, and not do it. So it's wonderful to have this wonderful position where what you say is now being listened to, you know.
Yes, but Copernicus, in your confessions, you...
Confessions?
Yes, confessions of...
What confessions?
Of a ranting poet-philosopher.
You mean in the
ones,
pieces?
The ones you just... The confessions that you just made. You indicate an intellectual and moral evolution. Indeed, evolution comes into play in some of your songs where you say that we've discarded our amoebahood, we've discarded our tails, as you put it. How does this intellectual and moral evolution of a person, of an I, of a Copernicus, play in a world where everything above the subatomic level is illusion? The I of which you speak is no one particular molecule, but you as a whole, as Copernicus, evolving. And you just spoke of how should I say, keeping a record of that evolution. How does nothing evolve? Or you're certainly not talking about evolution at the atomic level, so what are you talking about?
How does nothing evolve?
Yes.
Nothing evolves. There is the...
you evolved.
No,
you have evolved.
No, wrong.
And you
No. There is a passing. There is a passing going on. In other words, as the computer up here keeps changing from one moment to the next. It never stays the same. Okay, but that doesn't mean it passes on things to the next being at every moment. When the computer it remembers a very small percentage of things that have taken place, very small. But it passes them on, okay? But don't you dare call that identity, all right? You're going to run and say that's George Gilson or that's Copernicus. It's not identity, because it's not the same. The mind is the same, is not the same, but the computer does pass on certain things, and the computer does pass on certain things, okay? But that is not identity.
What is it?
It's remembrances of things past, though. It's not me.
Well,
how could this little kid like this? How could a small child, and now I'm this big gray-haired monster, be the same? It's two different beings.
It is indeed two different beings, but there is.
I mean, humanity. There was a time when humanity didn't even have the wheel. They invented the wheel. So we now are walking around wheeling things around. Now you're going to say that the human beings that invented the wheel, whether we are the same people, we're not the same thing. The wheel was passed on, just like the remembrances that were passed on. And so this little computer passes some of these things on, that's all. But it's not something that you get that you're going to start walking around and say, that's me.
Well, this little computer in our studio is going to now break to one of your great songs, and that is Blood 2. Okay,
now Blood 2, I think one of the greatest pieces that I loved the best was Blood, and that was on the first album, Nothing Exists. That was a totally improvised piece. Nobody knew where that came from, and it was just wonderful. From Nothing Exists, the first album. And I love that piece so much that we began to do it on stage. And then it took on its own life on stage.
All right.
And this was recorded again in Berlin, although the first original Blood, we call it Blood, this is called Blood 2, was recorded and it's all improvised there, and it's got a wonderful power. And again, maybe there'll be a Blood 3. Blood 2.
Let's have a look.
The sea, the mother of the dream. The kiss that could never be. And all those twisted dreams when Copernicus could move, walked in the sweat like God's song, like turn, like a melody. It's not that emotional when you understand. When you understand, it's peace. It's peace. It's just the ignorance that creates all the static. It's just the ignorance that creates all the suffering. It's just the ignorance that creates all the war. It's just the ignorance that creates all the blood. 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 Blood.
And here we are again, ladies and gentlemen. That was an excellent video of Blood, Copernicus. And it really hits to the heart of your thinking, I think. The formula, as I understand it in the song, and that you detect in the world, is that ignorance leads to war, which leads to blood, which leads to suffering. So that, and I believe this is also in the song, if one were to remedy ignorance through knowledge and understanding, then so much blood-letting would be avoided. Do I understand the song?
Absolutely. Ignorance is the enemy. Before you alluded to good and bad. There's no such thing as good and bad. There's ignorance. Ignorance is what causes man to do the wrong thing, to harm himself and harm his brothers.
If the first element, ignorance, were cured through some miracle or some some deep understanding that one would achieve through
it's not going to take a miracle. It's slow growth.
Would all be well in the world if ignorance were cured?
You could get better. It's slow growth. It's not a miracle. It doesn't happen overnight.
How can knowledge exist in a world where nothing exists? What is knowledge, as you see it?
Knowledge is awarenesses of a world in which you do not, you are come closer in harmony with the everlasting vision of what is real, if there is a reality. At this point, I'm in a relative stage, and I'm saying, in fact I say it on stage, that reality itself is relative.
Okay. I want to move on quickly to No Borderline, which we're going to see shortly, rather. It is, of course, the title track of your album, and it's a very central piece, not only to the album, but your thinking in general. And as I interpret the song, there's a romantic aspect to it. You advocate a certain immediate, solitary relationship between man, or human beings, that is, and the universe. And that this is sort of a healing relationship and, in a way, our very purpose. Is that the way you set up the song in your own mind?
Well, I once said to you that, that we are made up of stardust, which is true. And we're made up of matter from the universe, aren't we? So...
is this communion with the universe the highest value to which we can attain as
No, the highest
beings?
value is being and maintaining the conversation within yourself. And
can we be enlightened?
Don't forget the universe. Don't forget the sky up there. When was the last time you looked up the sky? I'll bet you, especially people who live in the cities, have never even seen the sky.
What can the sky teach us about living on Earth? What can a communion with the universe
go out where there's no city lights, and go up there and look at the sky, and you will see that just the feeling that it gives you. Ancient man didn't have city lights. He woke up in the morning, he saw the sun go across the sky, and he felt the power of that movement, and then the sun went away, and then the stars came, and he saw those stars, and he communicated with them, and the power of that universe is there to feel. You could see with your naked eye. You don't even need a telescope to see the planets and the stars. That power is there. But we don't see it, and so if we don't see it, we forget about it.
I have a feeling we're going to see it right now, Copernicus, as we cut to No Borderline.
The angel is in you, like the carriage crosses that hang alone in the sea's desert. Pebbles, dreaming pebbles sweating in the sun. Spirits eating through the lava, waiting for the sand to whiten the kiss. Truth, spirit force, turned into the dry wood. Just be alone with the universe. The angel is in you. The angel is in you! The angel is in you! Just be alone with the universe. Be your own vision, your own angel. The angel is in you. The power of angels. ancient ritual. It weaves the tapestry of non-existence, of the dream within a dream, of the time and space that never was, and yet always will be. Lead me to the higher reality. Lead me to the higher reality. Ghosts of energy, invisible vibration, you are the undercurrent that is me. My cells intersect the outcropping of energy and matter which is constantly streaming, and I am the quantum level, vibrating where the universe is living, breathing, and thinking. Caught in the web, a victim of Nevermore's spidery jaws. The venom of shattered reality ionically bonds non-existence's cosmic law. Oh, frail humanity, all your sacrificial offerings, your pagan rites, your science, magic, and ritual only feed the monstrous spider of Nevermore. And as its fiery venom digests your molecule to protein, protein to atom, atom to energy, energy to non-existence, you will learn that you were never here. Yet, you were always here, revolving in a space and time that is reserved for residents of Nevermore. The angel is in you! 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 Oh, the power of ancient ritual. It weaves the tapestry of non-existence, of the dream within the dream, of the time and space that never was, and yet always will be reserved. The angel is in you! The angel is in you! Just be alone. To the higher reality. Lead me to the higher reality. Lead me to the higher reality. Ghosts of energy, invisible vibration, you are the undercurrent that is me. Just be alone with the universe as I enter the wave. I am aware there is no borderline. Just be alone with the universe. Amoebas, stars, dinosaurs, galaxies are all connected and unbounded by space or time. Protons and neutrinos from 5 billion years ago fall in a cosmic night, and for a brief instant, they are part of me in a unified field of energy and light. Lead me to the higher reality. Lead me to the higher reality. Lead me to the higher reality. Ghosts of energy, invisible vibration, you are the undercurrent that is me. I flow on the river of energy, aware that I do not exist in this reality, lost in the unified field, the quantum level, far beyond the molecule or the atom. Energy and matter are interchangeable. The molecule or the atom. Every minute is apocalypse, and every minute is Genesis. There is no boundary between us and the rest of the universe. Lead me to the higher reality. Ghosts of energy, invisible vibration, you are the undercurrent that is me. And I am the quantum level. The angel is in you. I am the quantum level. The angel is in you. The angel is in you. I am the quantum level. Vibrating where the breathing, and thinking. Just be alone with the universe.
The angel is in you.
Be your own vision. Your own angel.
The angel is in you.
Be your own vision.
Angel is in you.
Maybe your most incredible song ever. What do you mean by be your own vision?
Be your own vision, listening to the conversation that you have within you, and having the courage to follow it.
You say about an angel, be your own angel. Do you believe in God?
That's another story, Joe.
All
You
right.
have to define God.
We'll leave that for the next half hour.
Define that. If you define what God means.
we can't start that at the end of an interview, but only at the beginning.
Well, don't ask questions.
But the end is the beginning.
Yes.
So thank you so much for being with us at the beginning as at the end.
Yes.
Copernicus, poet, philosopher, musician, ranting performer, overall genius. Thanks for being with us, ladies and gentlemen, on our show today, where we featured performance artist Copernicus.
The angel is in you, like the carriage crosses that hang alone in the sea's desert. Pebbles, dreaming pebbles sweating in the sun. Spirits eating through the lava, waiting for the sand to whiten the kiss. Truth, spirit force, turned into the dry wood. Just be alone with the universe. The angel is in you.
The angel is in you. The angel is in you.
Just be alone with the universe. Be your own vision, your own angel.
The angel is in you.